have some really great news. I'm officially going to be working as a newborn nurse on day shift. I did get a raise, so I don't feel as guilty switching to days and losing my night shift differential anymore. Like, my life is not perfect. Life has honestly been pretty hard. I like to think that I can just blame night shift for all my problems, but I know I can't do that. I've been going through a lot health-wise. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune condition. Just make sure as a new grad, you take care of yourself. There have been one too many times I've been talked down to as a new grad nurse. Hello everyone, it is Kristen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been like 60 something days last time I looked. I am so sorry, y'all. So consumed with my job, night shift, my emotional state, my health. I'm gonna talk all about it with y'all today, but I do wanna update you with my nurse residency program. I am now past my 6-month mark as a new grad nurse. So I wanna update y'all, let y'all know how that's going. So if you are interested, just go ahead and keep watching. I just wanted to go ahead and sit down with y'all, talk with y'all through kind of all that's been going on with nurse residency, past my 6 months as a new grad nurse. So I'm gonna break up the video with like how I'm feeling, how the nurse residency program's going, how my unit's going, and what's going on the unit, like what's going on in my personal life, because I know if y'all watched my last vlog, I kind of told you some very personal things. So I kind of want to elaborate on all this and kind of just update you on what's going on. So how am I feeling overall? You know, I love my job. If y'all don't know, I am a newborn nurse. I work on the labor and delivery unit. So basically I am the baby catcher. I work with the babies for a couple hours and then I send them off to postpartum with mom. It is very fun because I work with healthy babies, so I get to dress them up, I get to help feed them, I get to carry them. I just get to give a lot of love to the moms and dads whenever the babies come. You know, some parents are great and awesome. They ask lots of questions. Some parents don't really want to be bothered, and that's great too because then I can just get what I need done. I just see a lot of happiness on the unit. We're bringing in new life. I don't really see a lot of sad moments like child abuse. While yes, we do see fetal demises, I don't see them as often as I thought I would, and they do come around. I have dealt with 2 so far. And of course, every shift we rotate who would take the next fetal demise. So it is pretty fair whenever it is your turn, because with all the fetal demises that happen, your chance of getting one will probably be a couple months down the road. My job does have its ups and downs. I wish I was learning a little bit more when it came to my nursing skills, because I feel like I am not practicing anything I learned really in nursing school except for a couple things. I really should do just a video where I show you guys a day in my life, because you'll be able to really see what I mean by I don't really do that much. And while yes, my job is very appreciated, especially if you're a labor and delivery nurse and you do everything. L&D nurses on my unit take care of the highest acuity patients. So these moms are very sick. So to take care of a baby on top of the mamas, they are very appreciative that we are here and that we have a whole separate job. But at the same time, I'm not learning a whole bunch. I do try to ask questions whenever I can so I can keep building on my nursing skills, especially with the L&D nurses. I try my best to ask questions. I wish I did a little bit more. It's a very quick turnaround wait, so I don't really get that full nurse-patient relationship because the mamas and the babies are only with us for a couple hours after delivery. So that is something else I really wish I had. I do enjoy the fact that I work with healthy babies, so it is more of a fun, happy environment. But I just want to be clear, it's not always rainbows and butterflies and sunshines, because labor and delivery can be a hard job and it can be a very sad unit as well. But most of the time it just tends to be a little bit more happy. I'm not very stressed at work most of the time, so you know, I could be in a situation where I have an unsafe patient ratio, and thankfully I don't. But I do try to appreciate the fact that normally if it is pretty busy, at most I'll have 2 to 3 babies. And while yes, for us that's a lot because we do a lot within the first couple hours of that baby's life, we do have help if that were ever to happen, or I just wait to chart. My charting is not very extensive like a normal day-to-day charting would be, at least what I did in nursing school. Nurse residency. Okay, the nurse residency that I'm in isn't like a normal, we're gonna teach you stuff like I've heard some other nurse residencies are, like information that is specifically related to their job description. Mine is just how to function as a new nurse and how to better your nutrition, how to make it through night shift, how to be a shift worker. I really wish it was a little bit more focused, but at the same time, I understand they're catering to every single specialty and unit that is at the hospital with the new grads that are in my nurse residency program. Now that I'm going into session, I think like 8, coming up soon, I don't even know. Now that I am more than halfway through nurse residency, as a night shift worker, having a daytime nurse residency time and it being online, I have fallen asleep because I've been so exhausted. If I had to work the night before or just having to be up from 8 to noon, like a lot of the times I would be sleeping around that time. A lot of these presentations are just about like nutrition, how to take care of your mental health, how to better your finances as a new grad nurse. It's stuff that is very important, but at the same time, I wish it was presented in a more interactive and interesting way, because for me, you lose my train of thought. My ADD brain cannot handle just listening to a presentation like that, but I also know I have to look at myself and my own behavior. If I did put a little bit more time and energy into, staying awake and maybe responding to some of the questions that they're talking about, I would take more out of these meetings. Sometimes I just would doze off without even knowing I was dozing off. And that's a scary thought because this is at the time when I'd be driving home from work. And after the presentation, we go into small groups and then we talk about, which I actually really do like the small groups. We talk about what went well that month, what didn't go well that month, what are we learning, like what can we do better? And so it really helps us reflect on how to be better nurses. So I actually really do love that part. And I'm also paired with people in my small group that are also in women's and children. It's nice because we get the different aspects of, like postpartum, antepartum, labor and delivery, NICU, peds. So like we really get to work with all the different nurses on the different unit, and we get to hear about all their experiences and kind of see what it's like on the other side. What's going on the unit? Well, look, there has been an influx of nurses leaving. There has been a lot of new grads taking over. People have been laid off. We actually got a raise as well. So the raise was pretty exciting, and it doesn't make me feel as guilty going to day shift anymore. Honestly, the unit that I'm on, it has its ups and it has its downs. I know who I can talk to. At the very beginning, I was so excited and I was just learning about the unit, didn't really know much about, how the overall environment was. And now that I'm learning how the overall environment is, when I go into work, I keep my head down, I do my job, and I come home. A lot of people on nights, I've learned, like to, keep to themselves. I am such a talker. I have been told that I talk too much. So you can already tell my personality is not a night shifter. Like, I love to know what's going on in my coworkers' lives, like to have that kind of relationship. I definitely have had to learn how to be a little bit more to myself. I've also really gotten close to a lot of the L&D nurses, especially people who are more my age, new grads, people that I can relate to more. I have experienced on my unit not being able to work with certain coworkers just because our personalities don't align, or there have been issues, things that have been said. There have also been things that have been said to me where I've been talked down upon, and I don't deal with that stuff. I feel like it comes with the new grad territory. I'm not gonna lie, like I've heard a lot on YouTube about nurse bullying. I've had to learn how to take some unprofessional situations and learn how to respond to them in a professional way. It has been difficult because when somebody makes you angry, you just want to lash out at them. But I've had to learn how to bite my tongue and just be like, Kristen, walk away. You can deal with it when you're not angry. And I just have to keep reminding myself that regardless if I get up and get another job, there are going to be people that are going to be like this, people that I'm going to have to learn to deal with and tolerate and work with in a professional environment. The good thing is we just had a job fair and every single one of the L&D and newborn job postings have been filled. So that is actually really awesome because we're finally to a place where we're not going to have to be doing all this overtime all the time. And for me, I stopped picking up overtime. I couldn't do it anymore because of all that's been going on in my personal life, how my personal life has been going. I have been dealing with just night shift and the transition. I've tried blackout curtains, I've tried headphones, I've tried earplugs, switching from a day to a night schedule. I've tried doing just a full night shift schedule. Full night shift schedule made me so unhappy. That was just not gonna happen for me. So then I went back and forth between switching between days and nights, and I'd be so sleep deprived from, getting no sleep between 2 night shifts, or on my days off sleeping for more than 24 hours. My body was just so confused. After I got COVID in January, I started having really bad joint pain. At the end of January, I was having joint pain in my knuckles, my fingers, my wrists, my shoulders, my elbows. I always had joint pain in my wrists and my hip. I noticed a few years ago when I was walking, I used to walk long distances, like 3 to 6 miles a day. My hip started hurting. I used to do color guard in high school, so my wrist always hurt, and I thought it was just because, you know, we would contort our wrists in like really weird positions. I've been in and out of doctor's offices trying to figure out what is going on with me, and it got to the point where I was getting rashes everywhere, and I would come out of work with like a swollen hand or a rash on my body. There was one point I called my mom because I was crying so bad. My knee hurt, was so swollen. I could not even push the gas pedal to go home. I got all my blood work done. I've gotten ultrasounds done, and I'm still not done with testing. I still have 2 more specialists to see because it seems like one thing led to another, that led to another, that led to another. But so far it looks like I am going to be diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis in an early stage, and rheumatoid arthritis does have a genetic component. It does run in my family, so it's not surprising that I would have it, but at my age, at 26, it's not something that I really want to be dealing with right now because, you know, even lifting like an 8-pound baby sometimes is not comfortable for me. It actually does hurt, and I have to let the parents know, like, hey dad, like, do you mind picking up the baby and putting the baby next to the weight so then I can take the picture for you? And it's kind of embarrassing sometimes. I have learned how to deal with it a little bit better. I do take a lot of Advil. If y'all have watched my last vlog, you would have known that I did talk about a sexual assault that happened last year. So, you know, I was dealing with a lot of things emotionally as well. So I wonder if the emotional aspect also exacerbated the autoimmune response that's been going on in my body. It's so early on. They can't give me a definitive diagnosis, but I have a lot of inflammation. I'm hoping that switching back to a day shift schedule, eating a little bit better, continuing my exercise will help bring that inflammation down. Emotionally, I'm doing a little bit better. I would still say I'm definitely angry. I can tell you that I am working on getting back to a similar place on where I was when I first started my YouTube channel, and just trying my best to, you know, be in a happier place. I can't tell you every day is, you know, easy, because it's not. Some days I don't want to get out of bed. Other days I am feeling so good that like I want to go here, I want to go there, I want to go travel, I want to do this. Just want to put myself out there and just get involved and do more, and do more than just what I'm doing right now as a newborn nurse, because that's only a fraction of what nursing is. That is my overall goal right now, to start prioritizing just my career and really just make sure that I put my mental health first. I am seeing a therapist, so it is good to talk through those things. I do want to do like more days in my life. I have been vlogging, so there are going to be more vlogs to come because I want you guys to see what I do as a newborn nurse, and just so you can see my life. I'm working on getting back to a place where I can be more active on here, and I always just want to be honest with y'all. I'm so excited to start day shift, and I hope you guys can follow along on my journey, watch my days in my life, because I'm going to be doing a lot more of those and weeks in my life as a nurse, because I figured why not? You can see how a real nurse works from day to day and how I integrate nursing in my life. Really hope you guys are doing well. Of course, I want to hear how everybody's life is going. Please leave your comments down in the comment section down below. And you know I always just want to wish you luck on your nursing journey.